Good morning. This is Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, lots of you watch it on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. And so when you watch it at 3 p.m., we're still saying good morning. So we're going to say good afternoon to those of you watching it at 3 p.m. on Sunday. And of course, those of you that are watching it on your internet, you might be watching it at any time during the 24 hours that you choose to watch it. It's your choice at that point. Once it shows it at 7 a.m. on Thursday morning, after that, anytime
they watch it on Sunday, they watch it on the internet. I ran into Joseph with Saya out near the Leonville area, and I never caught Joseph's last name. He's worked with Saya Trucking, you know, Saya, S-A-I-A.
Louisiana.
39 years he's been with them. And I hadn't seen him probably in a dozen years. And I ordered a truckload of stuff this week. And he showed up at the office to unload it. And I looked at him, he looked at me, he started laughing, he recognized me about helping him unload the trucks. Because for years, when Imperial and OPAC and all these other companies, we unload all this stuff. But he says, now I know you with the Bobby Dupre Show. He said, I knew you before the Bobby Dupre Show, and I know you with the Bobby Dupre Show too. So.
Well, you know, I stopped in at one of our good sponsors, longtime sponsors now, the Chevron truck.
Quarters Casino.
Quarters Casino.
Truck stop.
Truck and Car Plaza.
Correct.
I'll get it
there
out,
go.
Bobby Dupre. Stopped in there, and the security guard walked up to me and said, I sure enjoy your program. He says, I can't watch it at 7 a.m. over here because he says it's on sometimes, but I have to take care of business, and there's a noise and, you know, people, customers walking in and out. But he says on 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, I watch Bobby and Andrew, he says, and I enjoy it. So, you know, it makes you feel good when his boss, the owners of the company, they trust us enough to do the advertising with us. And, you know, he's just, it makes you feel good.
Well, let's talk about him while we're going to bring him up. We'll talk about him the whole way.
Yep.
You go right there to, I guess it'd be technically the Nuba exit. I guess what you'd call that? Right there.
The locals call it the Nuba exit.
Exit 23. You can go to the Quarters Casino and you can go inside and get you some good Stuckey's candy, get you some Subway sandwiches, some good pizza. They've got all the great quick stop type things that you want, your ice, your cold drinks.
I was in Madula yesterday, pulling a little small tractor, bringing it back to Vicky's. It had been serviced, and we needed diesel fuel. And
diesel is there, gasoline is there. If you got a truck with a trailer, huge canopy, so everything can stay dry while you're working on it, gassing it up, getting it all ready, go inside, get all your cold drinks, go by the Quarters Casino, and don't forget about them for a little gaming as well, and El Pico de Gallo, Mexican restaurant, and Cantina inside. And how about one more sponsor?
You bet.
Well, while we're going north, let's go all the way to Steamboat Warehouse, get Mama away from the smell of her own cooking, go to the Steamboat Warehouse. Excellent food. My two kids, I talked about them the last couple of weeks that they went there for prom. You know, I got the big car for them to go and over there, and I said, look, I know y'all all want to spend your own money for the meal. You know, the boyfriend wants to buy the meal, the other boy wants to buy whatever. I said, I got the ticket. Chef owner Jason Hughey, I said, listen, they coming, take care of them. I got the bill.
Oh,
and I
wish
went
you'd send me like that sometime.
You know what, maybe I'll help you out. At least buy you a cold drink or something.
Well, that would be a help.
That would be a, yeah.
That's
you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere.
That's right.
But they went, had a great time. You know, it's a good family type atmosphere. You don't have to worry. You can send your kids there. You can go there.
No problem.
Nice.
You know, there's alcohol sold, but
in the bar side,
it's all to adults that you know, behave themselves.
Absolutely, good, great atmosphere, beautiful building. Go by the Steamboat Warehouse in beautiful Washington.
And we'll start off. We have a picture. I promised my cousin Wayne Doucette that I would show
this picture.
the sign.
It's far away to start. Show the picture there, And then I got a little bit
Well,
closer.
yeah, can you get a little bit
How about
closer?
that closer? Is that closer?
Can you read that?
Well, sure you can. The second annual car show is coming
right.
up there on June 14th. Is the Cajun Cruisers Car Club over at Toby's Little Lodge in Opelousas. Toby's Lounge and Reception Center is what they call it. It's a car and a bike show on June the 14th. If you want more info, you can call them there at 948-3800. But last year, you went and took some pictures at the car show, and certainly I'm going to go this year too, because if you like to take pictures, old-time cars.
And we're going to show him some pictures from another car show, and he was sorry he didn't know about it. I'm talking about Wayne now. Wayne called me yesterday, and I told him we've already got it down to talk about. And but I said we'll take a picture of the sign.
Got
and
it.
I didn't take it myself, so I apologize.
I guess it wasn't good enough. You know?
It's not close enough. But anyhow,
Did my best.
we'll do the best when you're running by like that. That's how you did that?
Well, my camera, I had to send it back to Canon.
And I was supposed to do
repairing
it,
it,
and
so
I
I'd use
didn't
my
do it,
phone.
so I called on my assistant. And, you know, sometimes...
But my camera is going to be back soon.
Oh, you didn't have your good camera?
I gave them enough money that it's got to come back.
Okay, okay, we playing around enough.
June 14th.
I did attend that last year, and I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But he's put a challenge to me. He says, you still have that pretty little 46 Chevy pickup? I said, I do. He says, clean it up. And I said, well, I'll bring it. I'm not going to enter, but I will bring it and show it.
Bring all your toys. You got. It's a bike show too. Bring all your toys.
Yeah, I could bring my
it's not far away.
my trike.
It's
Yeah,
not far away.
Yeah. But anyhow, it's a lot of fun, and you'll enjoy it. And let's show the one that I
pictures?
attended in
we
Vidalia.
can do that.
I went to Natchez, to the little house I have over there, and Vicky and I went across the river back into Louisiana, went to Vidalia, cruising on the river by the Bad Boys, I think is the name of the group that put on this. And let me tell you,
You're at the barges along the river, and then the car show's right along there as well. And there's Miss Vicky.
and it's they occupy a huge area there.
Right along the
They're very
river.
fortunate with having
Look
all
at
that
Ford,
property.
how pretty, huh?
Yep, that's about around a 50, and that's around a 48 or
Chevy
I mean, I'm not a 48, a 58 or 57 Chevy.
with the roof chopped.
Yeah, and a lot of chop, but it still
still
looked
pretty.
good.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
still pretty. And these are the Thibodeaux, and I went up to them and I said, are y'all ready to get up maybe and stretch your legs a little bit? I sure could use that shade and that nice swing. And they said, no, not yet. And I said, what part of South Louisiana are you from? Oh, they said, we're from Sunset. I said,
There
well, I'm
you
from
go.
Opelousas. So we got up a good conversation going. I said, by the way, you know John Abbey and Sue Castile? They said, we sure do. I said, I had trouble remembering John Abbey's name, so if I say it often enough, I'll remember it. And they were enjoying all of the cars. And,
Chevy SS. I mean, look how pretty all these cars are.
that was just a little smattering of the vehicles.
And another thing about Vidalia, about the fact that they moved Vidalia whenever they built the new levee system.
They had to move it relatively a mile and a half. They moved, or they demolished the building.
This is a Plymouth station wagon, but our friend Jay Brignac had bought a Chevy
that had
almost the same color scheme, almost identical.
And looked a lot like that on the front end.
Correct.
And look at the engine there. But you got some of the engines got to come out through the hood, the hood.
Oh yeah.
And
Fairlanes and
Corvettes right there.
City of Vidalia bussing people in.
Bussing people and around on the premises there. It's a huge area that they occupy.
Look at those engines.
And
somebody looked for some heads for his car.
Yep, right there. So if you have that, you can go to the photo gallery and you can
Get the phone number, get the man a call.
And all.
Boy, look, they got he's got his leather vest on his apron.
And all the shows he's attended.
Right. Well, look how pretty.
Look at that eagle. And the Lions
Club.
Club, delicious hamburgers.
And don't forget about the Lions Club, because, you know, they take old glasses, they put it on a computer that can measure the prescription and then give it to people that can reuse your glasses. Same thing with the Crackling Festival in Port Barre that comes up in the fall, October, I guess, November, around that time. The Lions are big on that.
And I
look
took a few pictures of this because that's
a super, what do they call it? It's a 47?
47, Mom and Daddy's was a
Super
48.
Deluxe,
but
Super Deluxe.
It looked just alike. That was
Beautiful.
right after the war. That was some of the first cars they made after World War II. And that one is in perfect condition. And
How about this with the RC Cola and knee-high wagon in the back? Is that
that's
cute?
antiques.
Oh, absolutely.
It fits that car. And just
Look at this one. Wow, look at the engine on that
Look
thing.
the
Chrome,
engine on that.
overhead cam. Boy, look how pretty. Chevy.
Two fans on the radiator. That's how hot. That's how much power that car uses.
And it needs to be chrome too, because you know the chrome just makes it look better.
Yeah.
You
Talking
know that.
about the chrome, we'll talk about California chrome a little later.
And there we go. Look, little red truck. You know, we were talking to, earlier. El Rey Guidry from the LeBeau Palmetto area had one of those when I was growing up as a kid. From the factory, it looked pretty much like that. I mean, you didn't customize it. It would come that pretty with the wood panels and all. Beautiful little truck.
And then this is that booster, and I
Yeah, the
can't.
injection.
Neither one of us.
What do they call that?
What's
it
his
puts
name?
airplane fuel
Abbey.
in there.
Yeah.
Our buddy in Grancato has got one.
Abbey.
Yeah.
John, Abbey Andrus. Abbey
that's it,
Andrus,
Abbey
the
Andrus.
mechanic.
Absolutely.
He's got that in that Oldsmobile of his.
And then
This is some,
cars,
just
some
look at the
Chevys.
colors,
Look
how
at
they
it all
match
bright.
each other, just blend in. And one,
somebody
one
broke
of them
down.
had a little breakdown, and the sheriff's office from Concordia Parish was
helping him out.
gonna pull him away. And I met two ladies, and they wouldn't let me take the pictures, but they did give me their cards. And
Staying
I'm
at the
talking about
at the
Miss,
Texada there.
go back to the Tejada. Now I don't know if she and her husband own this place or they have share part of this. This is a huge building. I don't know if it's just for one family or not. But Helen Helen Smith and her friend Peggy Pierpont were sitting at the same table at King's Tavern. We'd gone over to eat that gourmet pizza that Regina and Doug Charbonnet have. We met these two ladies sitting at the same table. Very, very nice. We wouldn't allow a picture, and that's fine if they tell me ahead of time.
There you are drinking some coffee out of a French press.
Yep,
Well,
and
you had the steampunk.
Steampunk Cafe, and everybody, you
Beautiful
need to
place.
treat yourself to that little place. It is really, really nice. And one of the ladies there.
You're sitting on the porch, and there's the sun, espresso bar, and coffee roasters.
Do they have a white-haired lady?
Not that I've seen. What are you doing here with the metal building?
The metal building is right next to the building that we just showed, and they're going to be kind of copycatting Des Amis and Bro Bridge and Fred's Lounge. They're going to
They'll do early morning music with some food.
Saturday, and that's going to go over good because there's a lot of people from all over the world that attend there.
Look, Bobby and Vicky. Taking a selfie. Well, boy, look at you go with your selfie,
with
man. You
my
know all about
selfie.
that. And then this is a picture, I guess you had the boxing reunion going on?
Well, we had a meeting of the boxing reunion. By the way, the boxing reunion, set your schedule, June the 28th at 2 p.m. in the Sunset Event Center, same place as the one in
At the
October.
Chanticleer, the old Rooster Dome.
And this is Riley Fontenot on the left, and on the back, in the front is Bobby Le Bourgeois, and in the back is Nutzy Quirk.
Nutzy Quirk.
And it's time for us to take our first break.
We'll take a 1-minute break, folks, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. Let's not rush it because we got a lot of good pictures and a lot of good positive material to pass on to our friends out there.
Sure do.
And let's get two of our good sponsors, please.
We sure can. Let's go with Targill Seasonings. Go to Targill if you want to buy any kind of bulk seasoning that you want to use for yourself to go out and season maybe crawfish, maybe you're doing a lot of jambalaya cookouts, that type of thing. If you're a caterer, if you're a cook, if you're a restaurant, if you're a store, they'll also do your blends in these shaker containers. And you drive in the front, they got a huge sign that's a shaker container in itself. Very, very impressive to go see. But they'll do anything you want like that if you want to use it for your advertising. Maybe you want to give it away. Maybe it's a family reunion type thing that you're doing, that you want to get a whole bunch of these things done. Put a picture of grandma on the label, maybe a picture of the family all together, send everybody a a can, go by Target. Also by baking supplies, pie fillers, cake fillers. They give a lot of classes if you want to go take classes. For anyone from a child to an adult, they have special children's classes, adults classes. Go by Target. And one more, let's go with J.B. Sandals. And let me tell you, J.B. Sandals right now.
Now we can relax and go back into the past.
Old timey. And if you want to get those holes and those rakes.
But everything that you need that's up to date, they have that too.
Absolutely. If you're trying to do work in your garden, work in your yard. If you're trying to fix stuff in your house, if you're trying to get good gifts, pots, pans. I'm talking about the high-end stuff, the really nice Magnolite pan, the really nice terracotta Romatov pots that some of y'all might know about, where you soak the pot in water before you start cooking. If you want to bake bread, those Romatov pots that they sell over there, you make the bread, you put it inside this, like the old clay pots that you put in your garden. You can buy a pot like that, soak it in water, and you put your bread, cook that in your oven. You talk about come out good. I like to put a
what's
pork
the deal
loin
with
in
the
mine.
water?
Well, you take that pot's made out of clay. Just like your pot that you put flowers in, and you soak that pot, and that pot soaks up the water. The old clay pots soak up the water. So when you put that in your oven, when it's cooking, all that water comes out that pot, and it soaks whatever you're cooking. I do pork loins. I know people that do bread in it. Whatever needs a lot of moisture when you're cooking, stays moist.
I'll be
Good stuff.
darned. I'm learning something today.
J.B. Sandals, high-end, low-end, old-timey,
And I like to
new-timey.
remind you, if you need those nuts and bolts or anything that you say, well, I don't know where I'd buy it, just don't worry about where. Just drive over to J.B. Sandals,
Absolutely.
downtown Opelousas, Louisiana, and you don't have to buy a carton of them. You don't have to buy 2 dozen of them. If you need 4 of them, they'll sell you 4, whatever you need.
Bring your piece of parts, they'll match it. That's what I always do. I bring my piece of parts and say, I got to fix this. I don't know what I'm doing.
And those clerks walk straight to the, they know where everything is in there. And we overlooked one picture that...
Let's go back to the car show. We missed one.
Car show in Vidalia, the Davis family from Alexandria. I purchased a 48 highly renovated, highly customized Ford from them. And I think they gave me a price and we bought it right there on site. We drove it home and had a good time with it. And they are still making the car shows, and he's named off several of the cars that they still own and own.
But that pickup you have is beautiful. They did an incredible job.
But the pickup is not there.
That's not. Which one was theirs?
No, that was a 40 Ford. It was like a 2-door coupe.
Oh, that was the black one?
No.
Which one?
That was the
You've had a
Buick.
bunch.
That was the champagne color.
Got you. Now I know which one.
You got it with the big wide drag tires in the back.
I got it.
I don't know who ended up with the car. Bo had it a little while. Don Campbell had it a little while. It might have made it back to Wayne Doucette, I'm not sure. But anyhow, I had a beautiful visit with longtime friends.
You've been through a lot of camps and cars since I've known you.
Yeah, Mama used to say she'd go to fussing at me when I'd come home with those old cars. And if Cody was there, when she'd get through like her little fuss, he'd say, well, Mama, Bobby needs that in his business. That business y'all talk about, that ain't got nothing to do with no business. You're going to lose everything you got. I said, Mama, you got to spend your money on something. You just can't.
Got to have a hobby.
You got to have a hobby.
Well,
I
sure.
said, I don't fish and I don't hunt, although I go to the camps. I guess she'd be fussing up that if she'd still know I'm doing that, But anyhow, she'd get it off her chest and that was finished. But she had to take that motherly care. She didn't want me to, get in trouble spending money on things I didn't have to have.
Right.
They raised me, Mama and Daddy. I could have anything that I needed and I had to have, but no foolishness, no 5-cent comic books. No, don't bring that on. Cornelius would not have enjoyed seeing no comic books in our house.
It wouldn't have worked. And all those camps, all those cars, there are very few. I'm one of the few things you've kept around, you know, all these years, is what I've noticed. The more it goes,
now don't
the
go
more
there.
it goes.
Say like Ken Curry, don't go there.
I'm one of the last things left, you know.
Woo, Lord, some people are going to know what you're talking about.
All right, how about this? We're looking at, what is this?
That's King's Tavern. That's the
backside of King's Tavern?
No, the front. That's on the front.
Oh, that's the front.
That's the front.
And that's inside here.
Inside, and that's Ricky, the bartender.
Downtown Natchez is where we're looking.
Downtown Natchez, and that is her 2 cookbooks. Now, she is known worldwide for her cookbooks.
And that's Joe Fred's cousin. Her name is
Regina.
Correct.
And her husband is Doug Charbonnet.
And she was a Tujac.
No, Trosclair.
Trosclair, I'll get it out.
JP.
Now we got it. Right.
Who JP was from Opelousas.
Now, this picture was over at Delta Grand. They had the state of the parish address.
That is
what,
correct.
Bill Fontenot gave.
Yes, and I've got a little bit of
St. Landry
information.
Parish government.
Daily World had a nice article, Leaders Promise Best is Yet to Come.
And right here we got Lionel Melanson on the right. I always say he's from the Christ the King area. I guess I could use the town as Houston, I guess. But I always say
Lewisburg.
Lewisburg, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that would be his end. Always dressed dapper.
Oh, yeah.
And our good friend, Little Joe Simeon, in between, of course.
Who works for parish government.
Correct.
And works 7 days a week. He loves his job.
And our friend on the left, Mr. Tim.
Timmy Lejeune.
That's right.
And he's a parish councilman from, I say, the Lawtell area.
And when I walked out, we laughed and laughed till we were staggering outside. I said, you know, back in the old days when we staggered out the Delta, it wasn't because we were laughing and cutting up. It was a little heavier than that. But everybody was in a good mood, just really, really had fun. And here we've got
Lloyd Ordwin Jr. and his
Jr.
wife, and he is, I guess, for lack of better terms here, director of the airport
That's right.
area of
the St. Landry Parish Airport, and of course.
And that has really changed.
And he's a world-class mechanic on airplanes himself. That he knows everything there's know about repairing planes. Did that for a living quite a long time. And of course,
I guess he still does.
And his father, Mr. Lloyd, worked for years before he passed away with Melanson Funeral Home. Great guy. Had the grocery store in Washington.
Store and just
good guy.
Good families.
I see Gino Lamani in the background, always in charge of the sound. I don't know if he gets paid for it. I think Tammy works there,
so
and she pulls him in.
He's just a little lagniappe.
That's correct. That's correct.
And the new chief of District 3 Fire District.
That's right.
And don't have the names. I apologize. It slipped.
Here's our friends from Russell's in Orneville who did the catering for the event.
And I told him to
foods.
be sure to tell Melanie hello for. We will do that.
Great food.
Great food.
Mr. Wayne Ardwan, a whole bunch of guys.
Friends from the Krotz Springs area.
And boy, here we go here. We got Herlin Dupre from Port Barre, who's a parish council. I also want to say police jury. Parish council from Port Barre.
And parish president.
I guess so. I guess he's
his turn.
President of the council. President of the council.
Yep.
And we got Chief of Police Perry Gallo there. On the right, we got Lionel Melanson one more time. And there I am. You notice I got between the two good-looking guys. You notice I slipped in.
I noticed your hair is showing up more white. You forgot to use that men's.
I think Lionel and Perry must add something because me and Mr. Herlin, our hair is natural. I think those two
naturally
guys,
white.
Yeah, I think they add something to their hair. But anyway, that's the whole council was there, showing the whole group talking.
I think there was only maybe one that was not in attendance, and that showed a good showing for the parish government. They're working well together.
Every chair was full. I see Jack Artigo in the background from Grand Prairie. Good crowd. And Bill talking, and
Miss Casimir.
Miss Casimir was kind of the hostess, I guess.
She does such a. It's so easy to understand her.
She articulates
well.
Oh, when you talk with the crowd, you just beautiful voice, beautiful voice.
Bill Roder
with the economic development.
And this is a young boy from Opelousas now in Hollywood,
a singer.
According to Miss Casimir, when she introduced him. Reed is his last name.
That's right.
And his first name is, I have it here, Donald Reed.
Donald Reed. And he was
on
one of those big competitions nationally. I mean, just tremendously good singer. And I'll keep going. And here you are. You back in where? You're in Natchez again?
No, that is
here?
in Karen Crow, Louisiana.
Almost Natchez.
At Fricassee.
Oh, that's where you are. Fricassee Cafe and Bakery.
Yep, brand new. That's on University, main drag through Karen Crow. This is the cooking staff. Nice size operation. And this is the waiter staff right here. And then we're going to show the owners right here, Eddie Gary on the right and his beautiful wife, Miss Renee, in the middle, and yours truly on the left.
There you go.
These are customers waiting in their turn, but look how happy they are. They know there's good food in there. I mean, the food is delicious. Y'all go by and give this young couple and all these beautiful people working there, need their jobs. It's a brand new place, but they're well known in the community. The nannies, praline candy that you buy all over the South.
Right. That's the same folks?
Next door is
really?
Nannies.
Oh, really? So
where
it's
they manufacture
all right
them
there.
right there. They just wanted to have a little bit more work. This is a glass that was left at my house by Blue Bunall, and he called and I couldn't find it. Well, you know where it was?
Where?
Right where it needed to be. It was in the dishwasher being washed.
Blue, he just washing it for you.
So I took a picture. That's why this is on here. I took a picture and sent it to him. I said, is this the glass you're looking for, Blue?
Now, here you are at the track.
At the track, and this is a picture of C.J. McMahon, who is making a comeback. I don't know why he was out, but right now he's just working horses in the morning, and he was working we worked one of mine last Friday morning. And he, of course, was being driven around by Chassis DeVille Pommier. She's married. That's Carl and Angie's young daughter. And she is a jockey agent.
There you go.
Fits right in. She knows the business. This is Dr. John Parsons, goes by JP. He's a veterinarian and lives in New Iberia. He's an LSU grad from their veterinary school. And he's proud to say that he took an extra year of specialized training at Tulane University. So that
where your little girl goes
and
to
I said,
school.
well, what brought you to New Iberia? He says, my in-laws live in New Iberia. My wife is from there. And Mr. and Mrs. Freddie Miguez is the father-in-law and mother-in-law. Real nice young fella. I want to wish him well in the future.
Well, very, very good. And what else do we have to talk about today? How about this? Monday, of course, is Memorial Day coming up. The Catholic Daughters over at St. Landry Church at 6 p.m. are going to have a patriotic rosary. So if you want to go by, be a patriotic rosary at 6 p.m. on Monday at St. Landry Catholic Church. The whole public's invited. It's the Catholic Daughters of America's Court 119. Go by and say hi. I think I also got the note also from Miss Rose Ollier as well, who's very active in veterans events. So we're going to take a break, a 1-minute break.
Still have bricks to be that are being sold for the Veterans Memorial
on the Sunset Highway, 182. Give us a call, or we'll hook you up with this Pat Mason Gary at the St. Landry Parish School Board. But we'll see you folks on the other side of 1 minute.
Welcome back to the third quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick. I forgot.
Man,
you didn't get paid for the first half.
Man, killing me.
I don't know how you and the family gonna make it. And you got a girl graduating Friday night.
It's expensive. That's right. Congratulations,
godchild.
Austin Guidros, your godchild. She's graduating. Some of you may know her as the smart aleck waitress at Swallows. If you want to go to Swallows and eat dinner, she works a lot of evenings. She put her application in herself. She got the job herself. She works hard herself. Daddy never got involved. But I understand she got a smart, sharp tongue, and they love it.
Well, I'm going to add something to that. I was supposed to say something myself. Last Sunday afternoon, late in the afternoon, I guess 6 o'clock or so, Megan took me out to dinner, and she was in for her cousin's wake, and we're going to talk about that next. But when I was at the counter, and of course I paid. She took me out, but
I know how
naturally
that works.
Daddy,
That's all right.
Daddy paid, and was glad to pay it. And Beth was there,
Best swallow.
Beth Swallow, owner of, she and her husband Scotty, and she says, I'm going to be losing one of your girls real soon. I says, I don't quite understand what you leading up to. She says, well, she says, Austin will be going off to college, and I'm sure that, you know, she won't be able to work here anymore. And she says, I've gotten so close to her. I love her. She's part of the family over here. I said, she's doing a good job. She says, doing better than a good job, doing a very good job. But she says, more importantly, it's how I feel about her.
And I haven't talked to Beth since she got the job. I haven't seen Beth or talked to Beth,
Well,
but I'll have
that
to go.
really made me feel good, and good for you all.
Oh,
because, you know, these are the kind of things you want to hear about your children. More than likely, they're not going to be in trouble or anything like that. You try to avoid that. So when they have an experience of meeting a friend of yours and are friendly with them, or they take a job and you hear something from the boss lady, it made me feel good, and I wanted to pass that on to you.
Very good.
And be sure to pass it on to Austin.
We'll do that. But it is good to hear. How about some sponsors while we're hitting all this?
That's correct.
Let's go with, how about
LHC.
We can hit LHC. LHC Group, all about home health care, all about helping people. Go by LHC Group. They can help you out with everything from the nurses in your home to the equipment you might need, from the special lift chairs, oxygen equipment. They bring therapists to your home as well. They also do the Health and Wellness Center there on Heather Drive. They've got hospice care, palliative care as well, locations throughout all of the United States. Louisiana Healthcare Group, all about helping people. And I saw their CEO, Don Stelly, last Friday night. I ate dinner, and he did as well, at the new Silver Slipper down in Paconya, Louisiana. And let me tell you, we had a good crowd. I saw him. I saw La La Lalon. I ran into some of the Abear family. I think I saw Eric. I saw young Linwood there. Big crowd. Had a good time. Paige, you're doing a good job down there. Good food.
You bet.
And one more sponsor?
Yep, one
Let's
more.
go with, how about Dixie Storage? All about storing your equipment, from your business to your personal type stuff. If you're looking to maybe it's just small amount of things. Maybe just, you know, business, you want to keep some tools. Maybe some specialized testing equipment. You could put somewhere well located. Washington, Port Barre, Opelousas is one of those locations. Got climate control units if your equipment needs special climate control. Maybe you want to put an RV in or a boat. Maybe you want to put some of that furniture because you got a little girl who's going to leave Swallows real soon and go to college. You got to put some, you know, sofa.
Where's she going to college?
It's a great debate. She's got 3 or 4 options, and she'd like to go as far away as possible, like everybody wants to. And of course, Daddy wants her to go to college. We live on Growley. If I could get her a college on Court Street, it'd be just right. You know, I could just kind of touch her. But I don't know. She's got opportunities.
Well, good.
We'll see where she goes, and we'll let her decide. But anyway, Dixie Storage, go by. They'll help you out. They also got their sister company, A Plus Glass, with locations in Lafayette and in Opelousas. And they also make signs. Don't forget about those nice little plastic high-impact signs. You know, we use those at 3 Mile Lake.
Right.
We're still taking the $100 annual fee.
We had a nice,
a good week.
a flurry of new payments.
If you want to use the boat launch, the public boat launch, there's a key for the people who are members of 3 Mile Lake. If you own a piece of property anywhere associated with North Wilderness, what we call 3 Mile proper, there's 5 or 6 different subdivisions all around the lake.
And then not the Wilderness.
The Wilderness, that's the one I was trying to remember too. You got all these different pieces of property. If you're involved with any of those different pieces, they all adjoin the lake, you can get a key to use the public boat launch. Give us a call,
And
$100
they have
a year.
Same, and they have the same on the north
North side.
North side.
Right.
they have a lock and key also, and that $100 membership
Opens both
opens
sides.
both sides.
Open both sides. So you can give us a holler. All right, what you got next?
Okay, I want to talk about a few deaths that occurred recently. Miss Patricia, better known as Miss Pat Ortigue, passed away. Her burial took place last Saturday, and of course, her husband, well, she was well known. She was an elected official. She was a justice of the peace in the Port Barre area there for many years. And of course, her husband has been associated with used tractor and tractor equipment, Mr. Clarence, for years and years.
Right there next to King's Truck Stop. And of course, she had the little grocery store in Port Barre that
Years ago.
Bertolf runs it.
Yep.
Craig's brother. It'll come to me in a second.
Brad,
we got it.
And anyhow, our deepest sympathies to that family. And Ginger and Megan's, well, Ginger's first cousin died, John Getty Fall, from the Church Point area. And that's what Megan had come in last Sunday for, was to attend the wake with the family. And then after that is when we went and had dinner at Swallows. Getty was well known in the community, and his mama, Miss, it shows her name here as Rosabelle, because everybody in the family and around Church Point knows her as Nan. And Nan was apparently kind of where all the relatives would visit. They would go one time a week. They went to see Nan. So she had a constant, heavy traffic of friends, and she's really taking this hard. She herself is having some medical problems. So again, to their family, and of course his wife, Getty's wife, Dale, all the family, our deepest of sympathies. And we have two more. Larry Zarang Sr., I called you on that one. You had missed.
I had not heard. I knew
heard.
he had been ill. He was fighting, I guess it was throat cancer he was fighting with.
Right. And I thought he was a little bit very young person, 66 years old. That's not old.
That's a mere child.
That's a mere child. And reading the obituary, if you can get a copy of the obituary, if you haven't read it, as well as and as long I've known him, like all my life, life. When he went into business, I knew him. He first started out in law enforcement as a deputy sheriff, and then on and on and on, and became a bail bondsman, and one of the largest bail bondsmen probably in the South. In Louisiana, definitely.
Multiple states.
Multiple states. But Larry had trained, apparently had taken advantage of a lot of training that's offered through personnel that work with law enforcement, but a lot of them don't take advantage. He apparently has taken advantage. He was qualified in diving. He was qualified, of course, in investigative work. And in fact, beside the bail bond, he was also had an investigation service that he's had for many years. And
there was a restaurateur. He had Classics restaurant.
Classics, and I had a good story when I write my book of keeping them open one weekend. The little guy with the ABC board came in at 5 o'clock and told Larry's daddy, Mr. Zarang, that he was shutting them down because they hadn't sent in their renewal license. And I knocked on the door. He came to the door and he told me that the ABC, well, I said, why don't you let me in? And so I went in and I asked the gentleman, what the problem was. And I said, it's kind of funny that you wait till 5 o'clock to come over here and all. He said, well, that's the end of my day and I'm just doing my job. And he got kind of up at it, and I didn't say anything, but I knew the big boss at that time, who the commissioner was, kind of like Troy
Hebert
is today. I knew the gentleman. He had been an attorney of a board I served on, so I knew him well. And so I called his home, happened to have his phone number, called his home. The wife said, he's not in right now. And she says, who is speaking? I said, this is Bobby Dupre. And when I said Bobby Dupre, she recognized my name. She said, he's driving up right now. Well, he was there, but you know, she was. So I told him what the problem was. He said, would you please put this young man on the phone for me? So I hated to go give him the news, but he went to the phone and he came out and he says, y'all are okay? And he says, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But he said, you sure kept these people open. Well, I said, they're my friends. I said,
Right.
I know you're upset with me at the present time.
And Larry was a good guy. Some mistake, oversight.
Well, it wasn't him. He had given the money
end.
to an attorney.
Yeah.
The attorney he used was kind of slow getting things
Right.
done.
That-
And I knew who that was. So, you know, I felt all right. And anyhow, I'm not going to tell you all the rest of that story because then you won't buy my book when I
That's
print
right.
it.
But
anyhow, Larry Zarang, multi-talented.
He brought Tony Graffanina out of retirement to shuck oysters at Classics.
Yeah, young Tony. Yeah.
You and I went to the old man would shuck oysters when I would go. Oh yeah,
Really?
the old man.
Well, I
was
didn't
there,
remember that too
sure.
much.
And then we'd go to the Archway, you and I, and. We could tell some of those stories too. I mean, the statute of limitations has run out.
Yeah.
That at certain time was closing time.
Yeah, except at that place.
And then
they'd locked the door.
Locked the door. It wasn't open
Police
anymore.
would knock on the door.
It was closed.
We'd cut the music down.
It was closed. And we'd have a good time at the Archway. Larry was a good friend to us.
Good friend. And a good businessman, very successful businessman. To the family, my very deepest of sympathies at such a young age. We'll all miss him. And then, of course, a person who was very fortunate to have lived 91 good, solid years. And I'm speaking of Mr. John Stutz, Sr. I got to knowing Mr. John personally many years ago through amateur boxing. And he trained the Lafayette team that and I was the cheerleader and kind of a fundraiser for the group, and made all their fights and went to the national tournament and won that in Kansas City. Right. And then after that, we got invited. I said we, there we go. The team got invited to participate in the Sugar Ray Leonard's Invitational amateur tournament. And we went to Des Moines, Iowa for that and won that tournament. So Mr. John touched so many people.
Inducted into the National Hall of Fame for Golden Gloves in '91 and '93. I think the Southern Region Boxing Association. All these different things. I mean, just a huge
like
support of
Shelton
boxing.
LeBlanc now is training, you know, young boxers, and he learned all of this from Mr. John. Our deepest sympathies to the family.
We're going to take a 1-minute break, folks. We'll see you on the other side of one.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick, Mr. Andrew.
Good morning.
And I think we have a couple more
I got a lot of stuff.
good sponsors.
Yeah, let's hit sponsors first. We'll do that.
We don't want to put them at the end.
How about Hoggly Woggly?
They make all of this available to all of us.
Hoggly Woggly or Piggly Wiggly. I never know which way to say it. Piggly Wiggly. Man, I got my sales flyer in today. Boston butt pork steaks. Let me tell you, if I had to just live on one thing the rest of my life, good Boston butt pork steak.
Hard to beat.
And on the grill.
Oh, and make a gravy with it too, a stew. Oh.
And I cube that and I make jambalaya with it. I do everything with a good Boston butt.
You pull it and make a sandwich.
Man,
a
sandwich. $2.38 a pound, Boston butt pork steaks at the Pig. You can get whole fryers, 98 cents a pound. You can get medium
look how they've got
spare ribs. Boys, they got the legs tied together too.
Oh, and they got it stuffed.
They got the medium spare ribs, $1.98 a pound. And then if the kids, you know, the kids just like, man, I don't want to eat all that. I want to just eat a hot dog. You can get the wieners, 98 cents a pound for the meat wieners to put on the grill. So you need the hot dogs and have a good time. And don't forget, you gotta have dessert. Gotta have the watermelon, right? You can't leave till the watermelon is cut, right?
Oh, get
That's what
yourself.
Grandma used to say.
And if you don't have quite that much money, get yourself a good cantaloupe.
Under
Mama's favorite.
Under $5 for a big, oversized watermelon to feed the whole family.
Oh, Lord.
Go
no.
to the pig.
Get the watermelon
The pig
while it's the
knows
season.
best. That's correct. Go buy. One more sponsor. Let's go to Carl's Thrifty Way. Mr. Carl can help you with your medicinal needs. You know, right now, all that sinus issues. You get all them things you like.
Me.
Get the one with the D at the end. If you got to buy it, that's not the prescription. You get the Allegra D, the Claritin D. All them Ds kind of help clear out the nose, kind of dry up that
What's
head.
that D stand for? Dupre?
I don't know. It might be Dupre, but it helps me a bunch. And Dr. Bazile told me, buy that.
Look at Steve laughing at
He
me.
says, get that nasal spray too. They got one. It used to be prescription. Now it's over the counter. They got that at Carl's. If you go by, they also got all the stuff that's prescription as well. So all prescription type drugs, they can compound multiple prescriptions together, make it easier for you to take. Go by Carl's with the gifts. You know, graduates right now, you run into graduation that night, you can sneak in, grab something, and show up, and you're going to look like $1 million like you bought and planned that way ahead of time. The monogram, the gift wrap, they do it all right there at Carl's, and home decorating ideas as well. Maybe you're going to have a big party with graduation. You want to get a wreath, maybe some plants, some, the planters all decorated and all. They do all that for you at Carl's Thrifty Way.
Okay, now I'll let you get
How about some
off.
more? Cajun Heartland State Fair in Lafayette. Go, go, as they say on the commercial. If you text the number 64636, no, that's wrong. If you text the word Cajun, they got this backwards. Text the word Cajun to the phone number 64636. That's the phone number you got to text to. Text the word Cajun to 64636. You can be entered to win tickets for free rides at the Cajun Heartland State Fair. We're going to end this thing in about the next week, so hurry up and do it now so you can get them for the weekend, for Memorial Day weekend. You can get those. And one other thing I want to announce.
This
while I'm
is
at
Memorial Day
it
weekend.
It is,
right
absolutely.
now.
So hurry up and get your tickets. Send in your names.
By the way, y'all have a
tickets.
nice holiday. Most companies close down for Memorial Day.
Absolutely. Monday be closed.
Steve, you closing here?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of coming practice, do a little practice work Monday.
Bobby
No?
Dupre is definitely closed on Monday. Or if he's working, it'd be hard to find me. We also got Opelousas General Health System is giving away their scholarships, their healthcare scholarships. They wanted to announce that they gave 5 again for I say nursing degrees. I guess it's related to health care. Emily Oquan at LSUE in nursing, Taylor Bellard, LSUA in nursing, Cindy Richard at SLC CTH Harris in nursing, Amy Rosette, LSUA in nursing, and Shelby Savoy in nursing at LSUE. And they give away a lot of scholarships. If you want to get involved, get involved.
Did you see where those young ladies at LSUE won the national softball tournament? We didn't get any news report on it or anything. We don't hear from Coach Willis. Is he still?
Coach Willis definitely still there. And the other one,
but I know who we're not hearing from.
Coach
Curtis Jobert. Well, Curtis was at the
meeting the other night, but
sitting in front of me.
He was trying to get out a little bit early, so I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But Mayor Curtis Jobert, Coach Curtis Jobert, want to wish you hello and good luck and everything that you do. We talked about the idea that what a big promoter of the French culture here in this area, promoter of LSUE, promoter of, I mean, has helped.
Look what he did for the city while he was mayor.
Eunice, my friends who...
State representative, let's not forget that. And he was a college student with yours truly, Bobby Dupre. We finished college probably the same year.
And has helped almost all my friends. You know me, I get involved in politics from time to time. People know that about me. And when I need help in the Eunice area, Mayor Curtis is just, lights out.
He knows who to touch.
He knows everybody and speaks well. And I even get him to coach my friends in French because he speaks French.
Oui, il parle.
Wonderful.
Il parle bien bon. Mon c'est moyen cassé.
That's right.
Oh, ça c'est joliment bon. Juste pour dire ça.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No, toi tu parles un petit peu, tu comprends.
I understand it better than I speak it, absolutely.
Ouais. Moi aussi, mais je peux te faire comprendre. Yeah. J'aime parler. Si toi tu parles français, tu vois mon, parle avec moi en français, ça va me faire bien bon, mon cœur bien bon.
You make his heart full if you speak to him a little bit in French when you see him and try to speak to French.
Yeah, do it because I love to speak of at least a few words every day, every day.
Man.
It's the only way you can keep it going.
My comprehension ain't too bad, huh?
Non, tu comprends bien.
I'm not too bad here. How about this? We've got the Relay for Life is coming up for the American Cancer Society. Here in Opelousas, it's going to be May 31st. That's going to be a Saturday, a week from this Saturday. 12 to 5 p.m. The Kiwanis will have a barbecue cook-off. There'll be the public sampling from 2 to 4 p.m. You can get a plate lunch or just a regular sample. The relay opening ceremony is 6 p.m. They're going to do some luminary. I guess they're going to light candles. And then the closing ceremony at 9:15. That's all at Donald Gardner Stadium. No. South City Park behind Donald Gardner Stadium. You better see everything. You want to contact my friend. She's going to help you out. Casey Boudreau, 407-2121, extension 504. That's over at, of course, the Evangeline Downs Hotel.
And I want to add, if you have a family reunion coming up or you have friends coming to town and you want a special occasion type event, Casey Boudreau is the person to call at Evangeline Downs Hotel to get your special rates and your booking and all of that for a larger than normally, more than one or two. You need a little help on it, please remember Casey.
Absolutely, and don't forget also, we talked about Tammy Lamonte earlier with the Delta Grand, where they had the State of the Parish address. This summer they're going to have camps from June the 2nd all the way to, all the way through June. If you've got small children or larger or older children, they've got camps for 3 weeks. I think it's $100 a week or $250 all 3 weeks. And at the end, they're going to do productions of Peter Pan for the younger kids. I think the older kids will do Anne of Green Gables. You'll have a good time. Call Miss Tammy at 407-1806.
Say like my old grandma, Tante Bat, she told us one day we were a family gathering, and we were talking about different things that happened in the city and all that. And she was about 85 years old, I guess, at that time. She died at about 90, so it was a little before she died. She said, Shad, there's one thing I'd like to do one Saturday night. And whoever she was talking with right next to her said, well, what's that, Mama? What would you like to do? Well, I'd like to go to that teenage center and see how they cut up and have fun over there.
Come on.
85 years old, wanting to go to the teenage center and see what's going on there.
Heard about the dances and all.
Well, it just shows that some people live their life till the very end. They're still wanting to do things. And I think that's very important. She never had any dementia, or she didn't have any Alzheimer's and all of that. Lucky. And at the same time, she kept that mind busy with good thoughts and happiness. When something was happening around the Washington, Grand Prairie area that she needed to be there, she would probably line up 3 rides, and whoever got there first, that's who she rode with.
She didn't want to be late.
She didn't want to be late, and she wanted to make sure she had a ride. And it was young people picking up. It wasn't no people her age. It was always younger people that wanted her company. I remember that so well about how they treated her and how Caro and Viv, Caro was her nephew, but they treated Mama. She lived in that little bitty house on that property. And I remember how they treated her just like it was his mama, but it was only his aunt. You fond memories, and she was the type of person the young people wanted to be with.
My grandmother, I was in high school, and my grandmother, she's over in a nursing home now, but she went skiing in Colorado, would bring me stuff back. She went to Mexico and bought things and didn't visit around. She was, at that time, I guess, we're talking, 30 plus years ago. She's in her 60s, okay? So which is still, today seems very young, but in those days, that was a little older than it is today. And she went and she did things, and they would wear these clothes. It was a hot fashion clothes at that time. It was called Esprit, and all the young girls would wear it. My grandmother had a bunch of Esprit clothes, and my cousin Lori Stanford, who went to the academy, would tell her, Mom, she said, why you wear those young girls' clothes like a spree? That's not for older people. She said, babe, I'm the one that can afford it. And she was right.
By the way, I counted my ma's money fall one day on the bed.
Right.
And she wouldn't get she had handkerchiefs tied up with a $5 bill and a $10 bill, and she had that hidden all over her little bitty house. And she had $94 total. She said that's the most money my ma's ever had in her life. $94.
And was happy.
And was happy. So it's not money. It's happiness.
There you go.
It's from the heart.
I'm all right with that.
And
we're down to about the last 2 minutes.
No. Oh, I gotta thank.
That shirt.
Yeah, that shirt.
I'm jealous.
It's too big. It's too small for both of us. It's John's Tree Masters. It's John, my neighbor, and 337-371-0521. Thanks, John, for thinking about me. It was on my front door at the house.
There you go.
He had hooked it up, and it's a medium, and I'll wear extra large, John, next time. But thanks, the thought was there.
He likes his clothes oversized.
And I got a minute to talk. When the last storm passed, it really demolished my pecan trees. I got 4 pecan trees planted on a lot, and I wanted to have 2 of them cut down. And he says, Mr. Bobby, he says, I know you don't know me very long, but he says, my recommendation is I'd let them live. And today they've grown back, and you can't almost see the damages done. And I've got 50 seconds left. And
what's your prayer?
Each weekend, well, we want to talk about someone who died May the 20th of 2010, and I'm talking about Marla LaFleur Pete, Chad Pete's wife.
Correct.
And also, the closing is we close and ask you, Andrew and I ask you to consider attending the church of your choice this weekend. And our little prayer is, God of goodness, do not let me forget that as I become more closely united with you, I will be better able to see and love you in my neighbor. And you know, we need more people loving their neighbors. The neighbors is everybody. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.